October 20, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Oh, look, you can tell it's Maya in the photo. Unfortunately, no Mia, boys. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgelord, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. It claims the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today I will call on people present in Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgelord seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgelord. The prosecution calls Ms. D. Vasquez to the stand. Ms. D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio trailer 2 that day. She's just casually smoking a pipe in court. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I am producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2? As everyone here knows, yes. I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down. Literally. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30 we took a 15-minute break in the morning. Sal and I had T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hannah's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you. In the van. There's a van in Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk with what the monkey's head toppling over. And I'll use this van to drive Vasquez to Studio 1 after the meeting in the trailer. Okay. I think they took the body in the van with them. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it! Entered the trailer a little before noon. Meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so I went to Studio 1. Fatigue said Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I had T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Break, was it? Did they have the break at 12:30? Did the other guy say they had a break at 2:30? Or did he say it was at 2? He said it was at 2, wasn't he?
Hold it!
What were you doing during that time? No, don't ask about that. Ask about the time. Like, irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. It's a 15-minute break. Hold on. It's I'll take you. What does that mean? We know what it means, but it's not in the court record. It means just what I said. It's I'll take me in the studio till then. Oh, alright. I wish she'd said a little more. It's hard, I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find something kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere. Ended the trailer a little before noon. Meeting began at 12 sharp, ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had towels, so I'll take me. 2:30 we had a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I had T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. But they had 2 steak plates over there. He took them with them to the meeting. But do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. She committed murder during that break. She wouldn't have had time to eat T-bone steak. That's some evidence that proves she didn't eat that steak. I never find anything. Kinda wish she'd said a little more. It's hard. I think she's used to being a boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere. I kinda wish she'd said a little more. Come say hello. Come. Yeah, I thought the piece there we go. All right. Evidence proves she didn't eat that steak. Okay. So the only thing I can think of is that there's only one steak. But that's not true, because I think the game wants me to say there's only one steak. Because What's-His-Face took a steak over there. Sal had a steak. Yeah, this is where, like, actual deduction doesn't work. Because this was the plate in the employee area. Sal took the steaks to Studio 2 to eat them. Right? So this isn't the bone from Sal's plate. This is the bone from Power's plate. So there were more than one. There was more than one stakes in more than one location.
Objection!
So this is part of the trial and error that you have to do, and when you get it wrong, you just load up your save game and try the other things. Yeah. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. Well, what's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, did I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Miss Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. See, he can't remember that because Edgelord was not privy to being there. And Salmonella said he took the steak there to eat it later anyway. Miss Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat a steak. You took your steak and threw it somewhere. Like that incinerator. Yeah, so she did eat a steak. Be hard to hear what I'm saying with the game audio is chirping the text chirp. Probably, Gru. There's no option to turn text chirp off. I see. What was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting the Steel Samurai? Picking on Salmonella. Meeting the Steel Samurai. We just said we accused her of not eating a steak. And then we followed that up with, after you ate your steak, you threw the bone in the incinerator. I don't know. Oh, she threw the whole steak in the incinerator. Right, including the bone. Good 15 minutes, but it was enough time. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Does that mean she threw Sal's in there as well, or she got Sal to kill him? Order! Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous?
Objection!
What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was, worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. No, I think she got Sal to do it. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Is she stressed out enough yet? Get more stressed. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. No. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spirit or weapon? You couldn't. Yeah, we can't say I don't know. And we don't want to go, oh, I think you could. So it has to be you couldn't, could you? We're going to preempt this one. think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Shall I? Yeah, it's my first playthrough. Huh. You see. Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? The fence had to be the fence. What's the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. Yeah, but it was broken and taped up. It never would have punctured through the suit and stabbed him. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Yeah, let's present it.
Take that!
Take that! I present my proof. The so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through. But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Yeah, take that, edgelord. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. I won't believe a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. It was my attorney's badge. It was Jack's autopsy report. It was a photo. It was a guide map. It was the thing I said wasn't the murder weapon. It was Mr. Monkey's head. It was a scrapbook. It was a camera. It was a 5-year-old photo. It was the 5-year-old photo, because it's nothing else. It was a puncture wound. Nice and clean through the chest.
Take that!
Look at this photo. What is this? Well, that's Jack Hammer, standing at the top of the stairs. I don't think Maya's getting stressed. Sorry, boys. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is all this about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does that even have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgelord, you still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss Steve Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument the hammer died in the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? In the evil magistrate's costume, no less. What's going on here? It's like some fake muscle weirdness magic. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1? And returned to the trailer all in the space of 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The van. I've been saying all along, the van. The break in the meeting of the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed up the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. They just had to put it in the van in the 15 minutes. They dealt with it at 4 o'clock. That's why there was no blood. He bled out in the van. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Where's the van?
Take that!
Take that! Ms. Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then before everybody else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume.
Objection!
Hold on, Wright. Don't forget it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Miss Manella was a conspirator? I mean, of course he was, right? Yeah, of course he was. Of course, Salmonella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Yeah, and they already said that he'll do anything for her because he likes to be treated like dirt. Also, don't forget they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? Continue what? You got to the end. Like, what else are you going to say? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? Like, everyone's like, she's just given up. Maya didn't get stressed enough. No one got to see Mia again. Everyone cried. So what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost. Something like that? I just said that. Wait. So you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you. You killed Jack Hammer. There's no rabble, rabble, rabble. Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright? Yeah, see, it could have been Sal, and then she gets away with it, right? We just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right? But that is only a possibility. Proof is another altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Yeah, it's because you're an idiot. Drink a potion, dude. Order. Mr. Edgelord, your thoughts. Of course. It says the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgelord isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Testify again, Vasquez. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You ask the same questions and get the same answers. A waste of time. Why is the prosecutor suddenly defending a new potential perpetrator? Because this is some weird legal system where the prosecutor gets a win if the original defendant gets found guilty, and he gets a loss if anyone else is found guilty. And if we can't, and it's guilty if not proven innocent in these situations. So if we, and it's also on a time limit of 3 days, where if you don't find someone else guilty, the defendant loses. Because video games. Damn. I've come so far only to fail. Okay, Maya's gonna get stressed. As it seems there are no further questions, I'd like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez.
Objection!
Yes, Mr. Edgelord. I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I see. Very well.
Objection!
Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you battering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgelord, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yeah, indeed. Fairly, I say, go. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body. Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, I'm getting stressed. Why did Edgelord... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that? Edgelord. I was with Sal and Olbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too. Only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. The security lady Olbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying, "He did it." I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination? Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you just put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Nah, already gotcha. Find the key you need. Twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. How's it sound? All bags, free lady. Nope. Nope. Immediately called. Nope. Nope. You went back to your trailer to get the script that you couldn't find that we found.
Hold it!
The script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. I wouldn't do to have them. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? The games accidentally make me pick the correct answer, but for different reasons. Anyway. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please continue.
Objection!
Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness' last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. Order. Order. Mr. Edgelord. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court see my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgelord is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well. Witness will change your testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Is that all she added? Wait. Hammer wasn't injured. Powers was injured.
Hold it!
How did you know about the injury? How did they know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. We have to find something here to peg this up right here. Everything we've done till now has been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. So Sal and Oldbag went down the boat. As soon as they took only Powers was out. So they called the police, then Powers showed up. Sweetie Lady Oldbag was quite actually pointing at Powers saying he did it. So they the proceedings. Back to the trailer, get my script direction. Knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes.
Objection!
You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. I still don't say he's dragging his leg. He's got his, like, feet. Like, anyway. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? How did he say it was Sal who told me? That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Ms. Vasquez, you saw Hammer limping. So you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah. And when he was doing this, well, it would have had to be after he put the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Yeah, take that. Order! Order! I will have order! Witness? Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. She's gonna have something. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? Well, she thought it was Powers. With Powers dead, the Steel Samurai show ends. And then she could make Hammer do non-children shows, which are going to make more money. I still don't see why the show's cancelled if Steel Samurai's dead. It's just a guy wearing a suit. You just get another guy, right? Because he's wearing a suit. But I think that's the implication. I mean, in other words, can we prove it? Of course we can prove it. Okay. I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. Oh. Unless she did... No, she didn't know it was Hammer. Unless he started speaking to her. I reckon she did the killing here. And everyone thought it was him. And he's gonna out her. I don't know. Yeah, of course I can't. Yeah. Like,
Take that!
this is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to present day and Mr. Hammer's last role as evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here. You have only talked about Mr. Hammer. Almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It is a policy of mine. We don't have any other evidence. So, process of elimination. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. Wait, what? What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor. Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Music scheme. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Why is she upset? She's about to get let off because it's self-defense, right? So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I'm guilty. It was me. Someone call it. Someone call it. Oh, it's her? Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? We need names so I can voice act. Manuel fell from the stairs. Oh, that's back in time. Manuel. Manuel. Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No, no. How could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel. Manuel. Don't touch him. Miss Vasquez. No. Please, please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgelord, where's D. Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes. Yes, sure. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. That is all. This this court is adjourned. October 20, 1:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright? Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Okay, we've got evidence. Now this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put a blame on you because you beat him up every time.
Take that!
Because you were Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai. Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids show, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. You could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Next year I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. Can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... someone gonna tell him? Are you guys gonna tell him, or do I have to? Is something wrong? No, of course not. Ah. Nick? Edgelord? He looks angry. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad. No, that's us. That was too bad, Edgelord. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No. I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgelord. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. Must say I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Next year I saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings. Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. Listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright. Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now, yeah, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgelord? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change and went back to making kids shows again. The Pink Princess. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy the trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show us his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Achievement unlocked. Turnabout